really had no idea what he was getting into, and I think that's going to be a great thing.
Well, I know personally, when I put the dates for the release of Age of Ultron in our calendar, I got chills. I will admit it. I'm excited about it. And just because there's another movie coming up, folks, you are listening to Fanatics and the Fan, and we are here live at Visioncon in Branson 2015. I love being here, Brandon. I think I mentioned this to you once, and I'll say it again just to make it official in public. I personally left Visioncon staff exactly 16 years ago, which just makes me feel very old. And my son is not taller than me, so I'm grateful for that. I am so proud of you guys. It is truly a pleasure to return. It is truly a pleasure to do some of the things that we intend on doing here with Fanatics and the Fan this year. Tell me some of the other stuff that's going on. You mentioned a costume contest. That is actually one of you guys' stable, correct? It's been off the chain, one of the greatest things of the convention, right?
Oh yeah, we've had the costume contest for a long time now. It's one of the longest standing. In the past 2 or 3 years, we've actually revamped it, re-energized it, tried to get more people better costumes. We even got cash prizes here. This year, Decker has actually helped us run it this year, and he's got lots of sign up. We've got a new DJ coming in to do music for everybody, so it's gonna be as big as a large convention.
Yeah, they brought me on kind of to consult about 3 years ago, to help judge and stuff, and that was kind of my testing the water of what I thought was working and wasn't working. And last year, then I came in, sort of just again as a consultant about here's what you really need to do to make this work big, and then they've just sort of handed it to me this year.
Is that when you made your huge Batman suit bulletproof right around that time?
I'm not worried.
So Tony, you and I discussed this a little bit recently. One of the things I've noticed here lately is the steampunk thing, and you being a major cosplayer, and I know that there's 2 cosplayers on my panel today. I got to ask both of you. With all of the steampunk things that are out there, is there anything that you've seen personally that you were like, yeah, please don't do that ever again?
I'm going to get shot if I say this, but steampunk Harley Quinn can go. So tired of steampunk Harley Quinn. I'm tired of a lot of Harley Quinn, but steampunk Harley Quinn just...
this is going to ruin your life. I saw a steampunk Hello Kitty once.
Why?
It was the most bizarre thing. I actually stopped her in the hall and I'm like...
doesn't make it better.
No.
Leave it
I
alone.
stopped her in the hall and I was like, can I see your outfit? I just turned her around a couple times. I'm like, I don't understand. Why would you do that?
Because you steampunk something doesn't mean it's cooler now. Just leave it alone. It's fine.
Well, let me ask this. Because I mean, obviously, steampunk's not really going away in years like that.
Obviously not.
I mean,
that and zombies.
You've seen a lot of steampunk.
Oh yeah, and it's growing every year. It's getting bigger and bigger.
It's got to fail at some point.
And you ladies' costume, better than most men, except for Mr. Decker, of course, only because he's in kicking distance. Is there something that you think would be cool to steampunk? Wow, dead.
Well, the thing is because it's so
it's so overdone. So many things have been steampunked, and there are things that have been steampunked that shouldn't be steampunked. There's Nerf punk, which is the people who take steampunk and make it Nerf style. So instead of dressing Victorian tea-stained,
which is what it originally is,
Victorian in neon Scooby-Doo colors and bust out Nerf guns, and they're awesome and amazing. Just if you're gonna do it, just do it. You don't need a steampunk Hello Kitty or Harley Quinn or. Just do it.
There's such a huge misinterpretation of what steampunk
is anyway.
Right. Because people have just gravitated towards it, and they think if I get some goggles and glue some gears on something, I'm steampunk.
There's so many genres of steampunk. You can do Asian steampunk because there's an entire Asian series of steampunk. There's the Wild West steampunk. There's a 1920 steampunk.
There's the Victorian
and Edwardian, which for those of you who don't know are 2 different things that you can do. And people just go, oh, it's steampunk. It's got gears and a clock on it. I'm awesome. And it doesn't work that way. At all.
I've got one that I've got to ask if anybody's seen a steampunk Mal Reynolds.
No.
What?
Pretty much
Mal Reynolds from Firefly.
Why?
I'm just wondering because in Castle,
But
he
Firefly is
dressed as
steampunk
Mal
based
Reynolds
anyway.
and he dressed up as
So-
steampunk.
It's
I'm just
space
wondering
castle.
if
So
they
then,
did a
when
mixture
you
of it.
steampunk it, what are you doing to it? Because it's already steampunk. Like what? What?
I just had to ask.
You went out and bought some Sculpey and you sculpted it into a gear and you crazy glued it to yourself. Done? I mean, it does.
Did you see the Joker though? Not steampunk, but he looked pretty sweet.
The Jack Nicholson
Yeah,
Joker? That
yeah.
was
with the
legit.
paint- yeah,
Eddie,
with-
yeah,
with
He's
the
actually
paint
he has a
on
guy.
his face.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
he's
a
a
guy
buddy of
following
mine.
him around with the theme
Yeah,
song.
he looks friggin' sweet.
Well, the great thing about Eddie is he's got, when he smiles, he has like these huge like cheekbone like dimples that go up, and so he doesn't need the prosthetics to pull
Those
that
aren't
off.
prosthetics, that's
no,
his face?
No, that's his. No, seriously, it's his face.
That's his
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's his face.
He's
Yeah,
the
that's-
first person that told me,
Excellent.
welcome to Visioncon.
I'm gonna have to go
I walked up.
examine his face a little bit more. 'cause
He's
I honestly thought
amazing.
that was,
Yeah, he's really amazing looking in that getup.
that was ridiculous. That's amazing.
So yeah, if I personally though was gonna steampunk something, and not legitimately, if I was gonna glue some gears onto some stuff and call it steampunk, okay, I would do Marie Antoinette.
There you go. You could do the Clockwork People from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I actually like those gears. No, the one thing that I'm thankful is finally over as a phase is everything zombified. I am so
Yeah,
over zombies
that's
as a
dying
thing.
down,
Zombie
yeah.
cheerleader.
Zombie
I
cheerleader,
I
zombie.
think the whole world is in agreement that although
Zombie
we are,
zombies.
we
Yeah.
are still in love with The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I
no, and that's
love
fine.
The Walking
And
Dead.
that's
That's-
fine.
Walking
No,
You
Dead.
that's
can have
fine.
your dead soap
That's
opera.
fine.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's a new zombie
That's cool.
series coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. We,
Hi,
Hi,
zombie.
zombie.
There's
excited
your
about it.
costume. Steampunk.
Steampunk
No way. Steampunk.
Yeah.
Steampunk zombie Deadpool.
I'm in.
There's a
What
dude.
happened?
There's a dude.
I know. It's like, what are three things that are really
They even did,
overdone?
There's actually a comic book, Shaggy can vouch for me. It's called Steam Wars, and they steampunked Star Wars.
Yep.
I saw
That
I
needs
saw
to be
steampunk
done.
Star
6
Vader
issues
or
on the run, we have
Vader.
to trade at
Yeah.
the store.
Yeah, because that
Yep.
needs to be done.
And you
They
said
have ongoing steampunk stuff.
you
all
said
the
that
time.
you're tired of like Harley Quinn stuff. Shaggy, are you excited that we're gonna see Harley in live action? Like seriously with
No,
Suicide
Suicide
Squads?
Squad, yeah.
Are you excited or
That's
are
good,
you on the
though.
fence? I think she looks
If it's
perfect.
done right, I'll check it out. I mean, I'm not as big a fan of her as everybody else is, mainly because I'm more of the classic Batman animated Harley Quinn more than even the slutty Harley Quinn that's come out.
Yes.
Do you think though that they're
But
gonna
it
they're
could
gonna
be
make
good.
her slutty, or do you think they're going to try and do a mixture?
Yeah,
I think
there's
they're gonna
almost
try and
no
make
way
as much
not.
modern
Women
as
are still not
possible.
portrayed well in
Yeah.
media.
Well, yeah.
Except for your thing.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's
Thanks.
exactly
You're
what it
welcome.
is. Sex does
I
sell.
check it
I
Thank you.
blame the Arkham Asylum game for that.
I love the Arkham Asylum game.
I love the games,
Don't
but
get me wrong.
But that game could be a movie itself. Like if you
Right.
just
Oh,
took
yeah.
that
It's
game,
so pretty.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
the
your
sad part. You
script.
bring that up, and I could actually see the moment that she was on the cover of that game.
It was
Harley Quinn
done.
thing picked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like the
So-
casting choices of the Suicide Squad. I think
Yeah.
the casting's good.
Yeah.
So I just wait to see.
About the only one that felt odd was.
What are your thoughts?
It's still Will Smith is going to be playing
See,
Deadshot.
see,
correct?
Have I
that's
mentioned Jason
Last
Momoa
time.
is going to be Aquaman?
He's fantastic.
Oh, we talked about this. We already
Oh my
drilled over
god! I've never been an Aquaman
Black
fan, and I
Manta.
am now. Like I am now.
As long as Willow's not in it, or
So what you're trying to say is that Jason Momoa is going to be Aquaman.
That is exactly what we're
I
saying.
had not heard that actually.
This news to me.
Yeah.
I think we actually have a question from one of our audience.
Yeah, I was curious your take on the Gotham series. Personally, I love it, and I love getting to see all these origin stories because I haven't read those stories. So, what is your take on it?
Actually, and before we even get started, what's your name, sweetie?
Lisa Medley.
Is your first Visioncon? I hope not.
It is my
It
first
is your-
one. I'm a Visioncon virgin. No
Awesome.
Wow.
Are you having a good time?
I am. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, good.
Excellent.
So what kind of geek are you?
I'm a big supernatural fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right one to come to then.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You picked a good one to come to.
So that leads me to Mr. Decker. You're my Batman. So what is actually? I'd love to hear your take on
On Gotham? If you don't look at Gotham as like canon, you know, it's got to line up with the comic books. If you look at it like, you know, Shaggy would call it an Elseworlds deal. Their first 2 or 3 episodes, they spent way too much time like shoving, you know, the potential villains in our faces. They've backed off of that a lot. So I really like the way they're handling it. Honestly, I like the play between Alfred and Bruce. The Penguin's amazing.
Yeah.
There's just
I think the Riddler's awesome.
the Riddler.
too.
the
want
Riddler's
him.
the best. Yeah.
That's my only problem with the Gotham show is a lot of these people, like, and even the kid that they got playing. Well, it's the Joker. They keep saying it's not, but even him,
commercial.
like him, like I get so upset because like I want to see the guy playing the Riddler as the Riddler against Ben Affleck. Like I would love, and they've already said
he's
like
really
this is a
good, yeah.
different
Yeah.
they've already said okay. We're doing this. Don't expect any of these people to be in the franchise
they
movies.
won't be. Yeah.
But it's so disappointing because he is so good. Like I'm just like, how are you not cast as the Riddler in the picture?
I like the way that with the Riddler in Gotham that they're introducing him so slowly. You know,
Yes.
they're building up to it. You know, and I actually like the introduction of Scarecrow.
Yeah.
As the young boy that got overdosed by his crazy dad.
Right.
So they're starting to do some things that aren't necessarily canon to the comic books, but really, really work out on that show really, really well, for me at least.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
for those
the
of
beauty
us,
of TV is that since it is separate, you can do stuff like that, and you can get the people that normally haven't read it and get them to enjoy it. But at the same time, the people that read the comics and love those stories, they're like, okay, this is not comics, so I
You know, and
enjoy it for what
I'm
it
like
is.
you, Shaggy. I don't necessarily think that we've necessarily seen the origin of the Joker.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on the fact that that's going to be your Joker.
You don't think so?
I think it's going to be a twist.
I do
where
too.
Really?
I kinda hope it is.
That kid is so good though.
He
Like
is
I was
really
very
good.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like the look.
But
Yeah.
that's the good thing of it. It's
Right.
like you completely believe in the fact, like, yeah, there's your Joker, and then they're going to turn around, and maybe kill him off or something else, and you're like, well, now what's going to happen? And the Joker's always had this, ever-changing backstory. Who is he this time? The psychiatry said, like, oh, this happened to me when I was a kid, or I was this happened.
Right.
You never
How
get
did
the
that
same
get
story
these scars?
twice.
Which was the beauty part of the Dark Knight is him explaining the mouth, what happened.
Well,
to his
yeah.
mouth. They had the 4 different stories throughout that.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think that we've seen the Joker. Maybe.
It'd be disappointing. It'd be nice if we were all wrong because it's nice not to know what's going on. But that kid is so freaking good. Like I had the exact same expression on my face that the doctor had. Like when he just starts laughing and he's like talking to the blind guy, like the blind guy can see him. Like he's just like, right? Am I right? Right? Ha 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 ha. And the blind guy's like, I don't even know where you're at. Like it's just like how crazy is that a kid, one, kills his mom. And then 2 like finds it hysterical that a blind guy is his dad.
Folks, you are still listening to Fanatics and the Fan out here at Visioncon 2016 in
2015.
in Cranston.
We just leap through time.
Hey, we're geeks. We can do that.
Yeah, we can.
And not age.
Which I had a geek tell me the other day that he actually loves time travel stuff. I wanted to smack him. I'm
Did you say
over
you
it.
can? Did you say you can?
I'm over it. Am I the only one that's over it?
Can
No.
we
I-
time travel with steampunk?
Blow some gears on it.
So wait, a Doctor Who steampunk?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Zombie Doctor Who.
Zombie
yes.
Doctor Who.
Zombie Doctor Who steampunk.
That is so sad.
So taking me back to Walking Dead. How many on just my panel? How many Walking Dead fans we got?
Woo!
I'm an
Yeah.
anti-dog
I've
walking
been
fan.
enjoying it.
I've seen it.
In my audience, how many Walking Dead fans we got? So here's my question: is everybody caught up? Or pretty much caught up?
Are we
Haven't
gonna
seen
spoil
Sunday's
anything?
episode yet.
Hashtag
And
spoiler
anyone
alert.
that's listening.
Before tomorrow.
Sorry.
Before tomorrow. I'm
mean,
not going to do any spoilers, but here's my question: because they didn't really kill anybody last week, which is kind of rare. They actually had, since this mid-season, they haven't killed nobody really.
Well, I mean, you had the 45-minute death scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Jeez
kind of counts.
Louise.
Yeah, which we were actually it was revealed to us not only why. I mean, I love that they told us everything. They explained it all to us. We were good with it, but just your thoughts, our hopes. Who's on the chopping block next?
Daryl
Don't-
Dixon.
Don't.
I don't
Oh my
even know
God.
what. I don't watch the show. I've seen like half of one episode at one point. Like,
If you've read the comic, then don't answer the question.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying somebody that I'm tired of on the show. Carol.
You're
I've been
tired of
bored with
Carol?
her since she basically played off the 2 little girls, and the one was playing with the zombie as its pet, and going, "Oh, it's all right. She's just a girl." You taught her how to kill people, and then she's playing with the zombie. There's nothing you could say from that scenario.
So would you much rather?
I mean,
It's so hard not
to adapt to your environment.
It's so hard not to spoil things. But like, would you have rather had the opposite happen then?
What, the girl get eaten by the zombie?